We're looking at bypassing authentication on Matilda version 2.1.12, available as a free download from irongeek.com. We're going to go to the login screen. To bypass authentication using SQL Injection, typically it helps to know what the query is. Sometimes if we send in special characters that are reserved in databases, we can get an SQL error produced. We're going to try a single quote in this application in the name field, and that does the trick. We can see the query is select from accounts, where username is whatever we pass in and password is whatever we pass in. If we don't actually know a username or a password, then we can attempt to complete this SQL statement after username and get rid of the part about and password. To do that, we'll enter single quote or 1 equals 1 so that the username is blank. However, it'll say or 1 equals 1, which will be true anyway, despite the fact that we don't know a valid username. Now, to get rid of the and password part, we'll put the MySQL comment symbol, which is 2 hyphens, and a space. And that should comment out the and password portion of the query. And we were logged in as admin. The reason we're logged in as admin is because admin is the first record in the database, and it simply picked the first one that was returned. Admin's probably the first one in the database, either because the very first record set up by the developer was admin, or because admin is alphabetically first. Let's log out and look at logging in as a particular user. So let's say that we know for sure that there's a user named Jeremy, but we want to log in as that particular user. In other words, we might want to target an admin, but they may not be necessarily the first record in the database. So to do that, we'll need a little bit better SQL statement. Single quote into the password field, log in. So now we have the username syntax correct, but we need to basically say where password equals blank or 1 equals 1. However, we're going to see that that's actually going to end up logging us in as admin again. It's a bit inconvenient to have the password field so short. There's a max length set, and also it's a password type, which means that it's hard to see the characters we're typing into the password field. Let's fix that with Firebug. Hit the select button, hit the password field. Let's change that type to input, size equal to 100, max length equal to 500. There, that's a bit easier to see. So, let's complete that query. Username is Jeremy, password is blank or 1 equals 1, double hyphen and a space. It won't log us in as Jeremy, it'll log us in as admin because the or is applied outside of brackets. In other words, it's not specifying that the password is blank or 1 equals 1, it's just saying or 1 equals 1 about the entire SQL statement, so it just picked the first record again. We need to get the database to only return exactly one record. Let's log out and try one more time. Okay, so this time let's bracketize it. We're going to say or bracket or 1 equals 1 and username make that field length 500 equals Jeremy. Double hyphen and space, log in, and we're logged in as Jeremy using SQL Injection.